This is history. The chief rabbinate of Africa presents the Siddur Shambatayim. The Siddur, neither Sephardic nor Ashkenazi but Afriki, reconnect with the pure ancestral traditions of your Bantu Israelite ancestors, with a new sack of tefillah that perfectly combines the halakhot of the Mishnah and the minhagim of the Mekabalim, with a new sack of Friki, live the Black Man Torah, with the first Siddur published and printed in Africa. To grab your Siddur, only one address, Beth Nesset, Bantu Israel Synagogue, Lagos, 27 Canal View Drive, Agoi off Ago Palace Way, Lagos, Nigeria. Mobile number, +2348035382223, only 35,000 naira, delivery included.
Shalom, shalom, u'mevorach, shavua tov, u'mevorach to all of you. Shavua tov, Chief Rabbi Elnatan El-Hanan. Shavua tov, Rabbi Eliyahu Shimidia. Shalom, shalom. Can you hear me well?
Shalom, shalom, Rabbeinu. Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom. So let me know, because sometime since yesterday I have some issue with the network. So maybe if it's freezing, please let me know. You can go slowly and make the thing.
Okay, Rabbeinu. Okay, Rabbeinu. Toda.
Shalom, shalom, Rabbi Yochanan. Shalom, 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 shalom. Boker Tov. Loud and clear 4K. Shalom, shalom. So, Bezrat Hashem, we will continue our limud. Toda Rabbi Yochanan. Our limud about the parashat of the week. You know, we went back to the normal schedule of getting deep with the halachot, with the Ben Ishai, and with the parashat of the week. And I will try, of course, to connect the parasha of the week with the topics which interest us. I received many messages, people asking me if I can talk about this and about that. So the truth is that we have, Baruch Hashem, many rabbis, many tzaddikim, many teachers who can talk about what's going on in Israel, can talk about some Sfaradic minhagim, some Ashkenazi minhagim. They can talk about some Ashkafot, Jewish thought regarding the Jewish people, that is known as the Jewish people, let's say. So there is, Baruch Hashem, a lot of footage, a lot of information, so a lot of teachings around internet and around you. But regarding the Bantu Israelites, regarding the Africans who are connected to Judaism, regarding the Afro-Americans, the Afro-South Americans, the Afro-Asiatic, and so on, we have a big lake of footage on the internet and books and so on. So I'm focusing on that area. So of course, in your personal message, when you write to me, I will always answer the proper halachic answers for your questions. But when it comes about public teachings, when it comes about topics of teachings, I want to focus in that topic, in that area about Africans, African Americans, Bantu Israelites, and giving a taste of our Torah with and for that culture that have been called for too long lost tribes and so on. So that's why you will see that most of the topics are questioning or talking about major problems that the Bantu Israelites are facing. Some of them who became Jews, some of them want to become Jews, some of them who don't want to hear about conversion. We have to deal with that topic. This is our work as the Chief Rabbinate of Africa. And for sure, everything we are saying, it's also meaningful for any Jew. No matter if you are Sephardic or Ashkenazi, what we are saying, what we are expressing, you can use it to bring out on the table with your rabbi, to question, to see here is the way the Afrikim, the Nusa Afrikim, they are understanding things. In that area, there's no fight to know who is righteous or who is wrong. There's only fight to know and to understand how to preserve our heritage, our tradition, our culture in a very respectful and high Torah respect and protection. So this is the main thing, the introduction I wanted to say, because people are asking me a lot of topics that I can talk about them, but it's not the purpose. We have a functions, me and my committee and the chief rabbis of all the areas. So we focus on our topic, meaning Bantu Israelites, Africans, African Americans, and all the problems around this historical and all this problem around these people. Bezat Hashem, thank you for your understanding. So, like usual, we're going to introduce the topic of today by using the Edi Torah. The purpose of the Edi Torah is to remind you every time that we do have our think tank. Our think tank has for purpose to analyze, to see, to understand the topics, all the situation that are dealing with politics, economy, and so on, from the specter of the Torah. So before we start, let's introduce our editor. Editora Parashat Ekev. How to stop the effects of the weapon, and I have said well, the weapon of forgetting, or some people can even use forgetfulness. It's a weapon. How can we stop the effects of that very specific weapon used for centuries against the Bantu Israelites? Yes, we have a problem with memories that can be as a society or as individuals. The collective amnesia that strikes African civilizations, particularly those of the Bantu Israelites, is not a coincidence. The invaders, the slave traders, the colonists knew that this weapon would be the most important for history to never be used as a way to pay back, because they knew when memories are present, civilization people can ask a payback, the pay of the debts of these inhuman centuries. Bringing one's prey, one's victim to oblivion is the guarantee of being able to continue one's misdeeds in different form. Meaning, you erase my memory, it gives to you all the freedom to restart again and again and again and again the atrocity you made. Let's see how this was put in place, but above all, let's see how to awaken this collective memory, which is the key to salvation for the Bantu Israelites. Bezrat Hashem, let's start. Shalom, shalom, Lael, shalom, shalom. We will go in the introduction of the Ben Ishchai, Parashat Ekev. And from that words of the sage, we will build the answers around the question we brought up with the editora. Here's my screen. And Bezrat Hashem, let's start. Second. It's on the way. Okay. Let me make it bigger. Like you can see, Parashat Ekev for the Ben Ishchai, the purpose in the first year of his book is to talk about Alachot Birkat Agomel and Shar Abrachot. So I want to give to us the secret behind the blessing of the Gomel. What is the Gomel blessing? It's, for example, if you went through a terrible moment and you survived, or if you were sick and you survived. So anything that you see that negativity was transformed to positivity, you have to bless, to thank God for that change, major change in your life. So you do the Birkat Agomel. So there's a deep secret behind. Look with me and let's go. Pticha, introduction. וזכרת את אדוני אלוהיך כי הוא הנותן לך כוח לעשות חיל. It's in the Parashat Ekev, Dvarim 8, verse 18. And he said, you will remember Hashem your God, because he's the one who gives to you power, לעשות חיל, to do, let's see, to achieve objectives. Let's see how they translate this exactly. And we're going to start to dig slowly. So in English, we say like this. The way we translate Chayil, Devarim 8, verse 18. Verse 18. Shalom, shalom, Rabbi Israel Kondol. Shalom, shalom. Verse 18.
Shalom, shalom, Rabbeinu.
Shalom, shalom. Mechila, I didn't forget you, but I'm under tremendous quantity of work. Sorry.
I know, Chief Rabbi, I know. Thank you.
Welcome. So here's what is said. It's like this. In English. There is. It's said like this. No, not this one. Not this one. It's another one. Sorry. Here it is. But thou shalt remember the Lord, thy God, for it is he that gives thy power to get wealth. So they translate Chayil by wealth. Okay, let me just check something in French. Chayil, we called it prosperity in French. So in English, we say it's wealth. Do you have another explanation for Chayil, just to see if you have another culture for the translation of this word? Chayil, who knows what Chayil mean? Feel free.
I only know, not that I only know, Chief Rabbi, when I convert Chayil into Gamatria, then I will get a Ham.
You're too fast. So basically, let's say if we translate it by success, like they said here, we all sing every Friday evening, Eshet Chayil, right? Like say Rabbi Yochanan, it's an army. So when you said Eshet Chayil, you don't say wife of success. You say valiant wives. Okay. So I will let to Chief Rabbi El Natan and Hanan to make for us one limud about Chayil being connected to Ham, because I want to hear the Chidushim from him. But we will go on another way, Bezrat Hashem. So Chayil means valiant in Eshet Chayil, for example. So let's go back to the Ben Ish Chai's start. He said like this. He said, look. He said, Hashem said, you have to remember Hashem your God, because He's the one who gives to you strength. That's why you have strength. Lasot Chayil, or let's say a good translation, to make valiant actions, brave actions. Okay. So meaning, in that level, just at the point of the pasuk, when you are weak, where you are not brave, where you are not valiant, basically you forget your God. Are we agree with that analyze? Just on the first sentence, vigorous, like say Rabbi Yochanan. Are you agree with me about just the topic, the meaning, the pshat meaning of the pasuk?
Chief Rabbi Pinchas, I got a cut off freezing here and there. What is the question, Chief Rabbi Pinchas?
The question is, based on the pshat level of the pasuk, are you agree that when you are not violent, where you are not brave, where you are weak, it's basically the consequences of you forgetting who is your God, because He said, remember your God, because He's the one who gives to you strength to do brave actions. But when you are not brave in life, you are not violent, you are not courageous, it's because you have forget your God. Can we go on that first pshat meaning?
Chief Rabbi Pinchas, this is my short, just a brief. I would love to tie that to the spiritualization of money.
Mm-hmm.
So we live in a world where everything is so despiritualized, and that became the source of our weaknesses. Everything that we see, whether it's in food, whether it is in a dressing, whether it's in everything, they have given us. Not that degenerated, but that has reduced our intellectual capability and the capacity to something that they can control. I remember sometime many years ago, I read, I cannot find it, that where I really got it. It says, but I think it's Ariya Kadosh. It's just that, well, I wrote, perhaps I read it in a translation. It says, the bar peor, How is it being worshipped? By defecating. Now, the rabbi, I cannot remember, the commentary date says, the waste of the upper dimensions is what we enjoy here. So what they are creating, whether it's in a pharmaceutical companies, whether it is in a food factory, what they call food, is not truly food. It is something to make us reduce our ability. I'm so sorry, Chief Rabbi.
Don't be sorry. You introduced the topic perfectly. So now let's see. Shalom, shalom. Chief Rabbi Ishai Moshe. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, 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 shalom.
Shalom, shalom. So basically, Ben Ishai said, הנה, נודע, דאין אומרים לאדם תזכור, אלא אם יש דבר שמשחררו. So he said, Ben Ishai said very simple. He said, you never say to someone, remember, except if he is used to forget things. You see how he started? He said, look, you don't say to someone, remember, when you know that he has no default about forgetting things. You only say to someone, remember, when you know that the guy will forget. And that forgetting is in his nature. After he said like this, he said, וכמו שאמרו רבותינו ז"ל במסכת ביצה ט"ו על פסוק שמות, זכור את יום השבת לקודשו, זכור מדבר בדבר אחר שבא להשכיחו. So he said, how did the sages explain the pasuk, remember the day of Shabbat to make it holy? He said, because something will be in your daily life, will be there to bring you to forget about that day. So we have here something very important. He said, you can only be remembered to remember because something will bring you to forget. So if we have in Bantu Israelites, in Africa, all this problem with memories, for sure, our ancestors, they had a way to tell us, remember, because they knew that one day we'll be forgetting. Are you following me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, Chief Rabbi Pinchas.
תודה רבה. ופירש מורנו הרב ישראל ישראלין ז"ל, הכוונה היא, so he said, the Rabbi Israelin explained this Gemara like that. He said, look, your nature, כי הטבע והמנהג של אדם הוא מחייב שכחה. He said, because the nature of man is to forget things. Why? Because you cannot remember every details of your day. So imagine that day become 1 month. Imagine that month become 1 year. Imagine that year become 1 century. You will forget. Naturally, in your DNA, in your soul, in your brain, what you want and where you want, you have been made with that character of forgetting things. It's natural. And sometimes it can be positive. So when people face terrible situation, sometimes the best way for them to move forward is to forget about what's happened. So naturally, forgetting is in our life. שחרה לאדם בהלכות שבת מפני שאדם בכל ימי החול הוא עוסק במלאכה שנעצרת Betal mine menachot beyom Shabbat. So you say, why do we have to remember you about Shabbat? Because 6 days on 7, you will be working, practicing all the 39 work tasks which are forbidden on Shabbat. So if you do something 6 days straight and you have to keep your hands far away from that work on 1 day among 7, it will be hard for you. That's why we remind you every single time, don't forget about Shabbat. And he said, ומאחר שהוא מורגל בכך בכל ימי השבוע, הנה הטבע וההרגל ודאי יביאנו לידי שחירה ביום השביעי. So because you are used to work from day 1 to day 6, so naturally you will forget about the behavior to have on Shabbat day. That's why we have to remember you what is Shabbat. We have to remember you how to keep Shabbat. ולכך צריך לעורר בקרבו כוח הזיכרון. So he said, look, that's why you have to awake inside of him the power of remembrance. So you say here, the Ben Ishai said, look, to remember, it's a power. Why? He said, remember you, God, because He's the one who gives to you the power to do valiant, brave things. So we have two types of power. Ben Ishai called remembrance a power. Here, you see? Le'orer bekirbo koar azikaron. To awake inside of him the power of remembrance. So remembrance itself, it's a power. But at the same time, what does the pasuk says? If you remember, so if you use the first power, what will happen? Akadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem, will give to you a second power to do wonders, to do valiant, brave, courageous actions. So Chief Rabbi El Natan El Hanan helped me out. Koach plus Koach. What do we have? Who can help me out? Koach 28 plus 28. What do we have?
We have 56.
Okay. With the two kolelim, what do we have?
58.
Does this remind you something?
It's the chen. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Ken. That's exactly what I wanted to say. Chen.
It's the head. But let's start slowly. Let's keep 56, which is new. We're going to see Bezat Hashem. So keep in mind, to remember, to remember is a power. Once you remember, a second power is given to you. So what do we understand now? At this level, you see how the enemies, they never want you to work on remembrance, you, Mr. Bantu Israelites. They never want you to build a museum. They never want you to write your book of history. They never want you to go on telling here and there in the village what's happened before 10 years, 1 century, 600 centuries. Why? When you start to remember, you are awakening a power inside of people. That's why The real enemies can never be happy with what we are doing. Because we are doing what? We are awakening a power. And what will happen when that power will be awaked? Another power will be given.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
If we have the double koach, sorry for the noise. Sorry.
No problem.
Can you say that because the shefa that bring the Yom Revi'i, which is connected to Moshe Rabbeinu, it's also the chen, and it to bring the grace. Let's say great, but it's the chen upon the Bnei Moshe. Let's say.
Shai Moshe, you stood too far, too long in Africa. You're too fast. You're too fast. Shai said he's talking about the secret of Rabbi Nechunya, explaining to us that every single days of the week come with the power of one of our fathers. And each one of our fathers on his day give to us quality, give to us a specific level of abundance. Some of our fathers give to us life, some wisdom, and so on. And Moshe give to us chen, that grace that we start to define since last week. Now we are going deeper. We see that you can never have grace, you can never have chen, meaning two-time power, koach, with the kolel of 1 and 2. You can never have that if you are not able to awake remembrance. Grace come with your history. Grace come with your tradition. Sorry, this is what the Ben Ishai is saying to you. That's why you see, know how to study your Torah. So let's go back in the text. I'm talking too much. He said, that's why you have to awake instead of the power of remembrance. Like this, when that power is awaked, suddenly the man remember that, this is Shabbat, and he will have the power not to behave on the Shabbat day like the day of the week. So the real work of a rabbi, and mainly the real work of a chief rabbi, is to be able to do what every single day? To awake inside of every single Israelite the power of remembrance. That's why it's unfair when you feel that in some society, some memories are allowed and others are not allowed. That's mainly the beginning of anti-Semitism when we talk about political definition. What most of the anti-Semite people are saying is, say, look, we don't understand why you guys have the right to cry about the Shoah, but we blacks, we have no right to cry at the same level about slave trade, at the same level about colonization, at the same level about all the things that have been made. If you know exactly the beginning of the problem of the fight between communities, between ethnics, it's all about the favor given to someone, to somebody, to some people, about their memory being put here and the others one being put down. This creates fight amongst people. But what is the mindset of the leaders? Is to say, it's simple. We will not let them remember their history. Why? If we make that mistake, what we will do, what we will give to them? Power. And that power will bring down another power to them, and they will have abundance. Shefa, grace. Till there, are you following? Is it okay?
It's okay, Rabbeinu.
Yes. Yes.
We go deeper. Now he said, וכן העניין בהנהגת האדם בעולם הזה, בכל מין הישג שעוסק, הן במלאכה, הן במחקר וממכור, הן בצורכי גופו ובענייני, מאחר שרואה שהכל מתנהג בטבע. הנה, הטבע הזה המוטבע בעולם יביא את האדם לידי שחרה, ולא יזכור ויצייר בלבבו תמיד שכל עסקה ועניינו נעשים בהשגחתו יתברך עילת העילות וסיבת הסיבות, אלא יחשוב שהדברים נעשים בטבע, וממילא יחשוב שכוחו והעוצם ידו עשה לו את החיל הזה. כי כן הוא משפט הטבע ומנהג של העולם, ולכן הוצחר הכתוב להזהיר האדם בזכירה, מחמת כי הטבע המוטבע בעולם ודאי יביאנו לידי שחרה בדברים אלו. But you say here is deep. You say, look, you see what's happened. Let's talk about the behavior of the men let's talk about the behavior of the men on this earth. He said, on this earth, what you do, you work, you do some commerce, you study, you create, you try to have ideas, you build business, you build project. You say all these things because you repeat them day after day after day after day, bring you to think that these things are natural to you because you are used to do them. So look what he said in the Ben Ishchai. He said, this will bring you to forget that this is not from your power that things have been made. You will think in your art that this is your work, this is the power of your hands that made that. Why? Because you repeat every day. And you will forget that all this result is the final stage of the action of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But here, the Ben Ishchai is calling HaKadosh Baruch Hu in a specific name. Ilat Ailot, the high of all highs, and Sibat Sibot, and the reason of all reasons. It's a code. And he said, look, what's happened to you? Your habits, because you are used to see yourself doing that things, will bring you to think that you are the one who create the potential of success, the potential of situation, the potential of action, and that God has nothing to do with that. Not God. The high of highest and the reason of reasons. What does it mean here? This is a song of hope for us Bantu Israelites who have been depth inside of forgetfulness. Why? The nature of our enemies, the enemies of Torah Moshe, will bring them to forget about the origins of things. Because all these centuries, they have been so used to grab, to take what they want, when they want, where they want. They have been so used to do what they want with our people, with our wives, with our sister, with our mom, with our fathers, with our brothers, with our kids. They have been so used to lead this world without asking and getting any advice from our countries. That's why you don't have any African country, any Bantu country among the Security Council of the UN. They don't need us to lead this world. Because these things have been settled for so long, they will forget that what is happening every single day is not from the corner of their actions. Because they have that habit of what? Doing, working, economy, you build economy, you build a GDP, you build government, you build institution, you create a dynamic. They are used to say, we did all that. The society where you live now, the guys where you are, what you are eating, what you are dressing, the way you receive your salary, all this is the creation of the new world order. But this is the mistake. Because forgetfulness entered their house. But let's see how the Ben Ish Chai will bring it. He said, ועל כן תקנו חכמינו זיכרונם לברכה שם אנשי כנסת הגדולה ברכת הודאה בארבע דברים שבהם עלול האדם יותר לתלות עניינם בטבעה ומנהגו של העולם וישכח הנהגתו יתברך. So he said, that's why the sages of the great assembly, we have to applaud. They were the real Mekubalim. The great assembly had among all the members Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, the master of Rabbi Nechemia ben Akane, who was the first Mekubal after that generation. So they decided to say, look, we have to create a blessing that will have the power to awake remembrance. We have to create a blessing that will bring our people never to forget that what they have in their hands has nothing to do with their power. But this is the way the Creator and Sof is handling his creations. Because look today, if you listen to the leaders of the state of Israel, they tell you straight, our actions bring us to make revenge. Our weapon, our power, our missile, anti-missile things saved the country, saved the people. Basically, you see that the power of the military industry is the one that is used to say, thanks to that, we are safe. Because we have been deaf to, yes, you have genius in Israel. They create the last weapon. We have the money for that. We have the support of America. All these things, it's natural. So what's happened at the end? You say, no, my power brought me to have that situation. Our financial power, our intelligence, our works, our hands, our brave art brought us to have that situation. This is anti-Torah. Because the Anshe Knesset Agdola, the sages of the great assembly, they say, look, we should never fall in that trap. Let's create a blessing to be protected protected from that curse of believing that our hands, our wisdom, our power made that things. There is a sign to see if you are in a society of Torah or not. Just listen the way your leaders are talking. That's it. And he said, like the Ben Ishai said, והוא דאמרו רבותינו זיכרונם לברכה בברכות 4 צריכים להודות השם. So he said, in order to avoid that, the sages of the Great Assembly said, we have to prepare to create a blessing for 4 type of situation. 4 type of situation. Chavuv, Isurim, Yam, Midbar, Besimanam. וכל החיים יודוך סלע. וכל החיים, חבוב, איסורים, ים, יודוך סלע, מדבר. So like this. There's a pasuk in Brachot, in the Torah, the Nah, we say, and all my life I will praise you. When you take it in Hebrew, all my life, it's Vechol HaChaim. Chaim, it's Chet Yud Yud Mem. 4 situations. What are the 4 situations included behind that 4 letters? Chaim, Chet Yud Yud Mem. The Chet, it's Chavuv. The Yud, it's Isurin. The other Yud, it's Yam. And the Mem, it's for Midbar. There are the 4 situations that have been, Chavush, sorry, not Chavuv, Chavush, that have been quoted to say after that situation, you have to say that blessing. In the middle of that situation, you have to say that blessing. Before you do anything after passing that situation, you have to say something. So let's see. What is Chaim for the Ben Ishai and the sages here? It's Chavush, Isurin, Yam, and Midbar. What is Chavush? Chavush is when you have been made hostage. They kidnapped you. They captured you. So when you will be delivered, you will be saved. What you have to do first? That blessing, that bracha. To remember that it's not your power, not your strength that brought you out. Do you see the power of what the Ben Ishai is saying? He's remembering us what the sage of the Great Assembly says. Say, look, you were a stage because you will be falling in one mistake, thinking that your army, your leaders, your money brought you to be delivered. We will oblige you to say the blessing, the Birkat HaGomel, in order not to let you think that your money, your power, your leaders saved you. Are you following what he's saying?
Yes, Chief Rabbi Pinchas.
How many people have been given a microphone, then they were delivered to say, first of all, before to thank Tza'al, before to thank Netanyahu, before to thank I don't know what, the UN, take and say Birkat HaGomel. How many people? How many times did you see the Savior giving that microphone in front of the camera and to say first, say the blessing? Zero. People do it when they are religious, when they go, or when maybe they do teshuvah after being saved. They go to the Bet Knesset, they say Birkat HaGomel in a small community, and that's it. But this is not what the Torah is asking. The Torah is saying, you have been captured, you have been made hostage, you are free. First word, bracha. In order to forget, to remove that forgetfulness. After, it's isurim. When you suffer, first, chavush, you have been captured. Second, isurim. When any type of sufferance you're going through, when it's over, birkat hagomel. After midbar, when you are passing or going through desert, and you succeed to find a city, now you're no more in the desert, what you say? Birkat hagomel. And after, yam, the sea. All the situations are meaningful in our daily life. They came also with specific spiritual things that I will not develop now. So he what he's saying to you. He said, say that blessing at that specific moment. And what will happen for you? It will create a power which will be doubled by another power. So what's happened with us? Because we forget our tradition, when we have obtained a first stage of independence with our countries in Africa, who did we think? I'm talking about the Bantu Israelite tribes country. Who did we think? It was hard to know that Gomel should be said at that moment. We thank the UN.
Chief Rabbi Pinchas,
Yes, Chief Rabbi Hanan.
I don't know whether I understood the question. Who do we think in Africa? We think in Africa.
No,
When you look at
I said,
this,
what was
sorry.
what was the word of the one who succeeded to obtain freedom for their country? What was the thing? What was the first word? To who went the first thanks?
They attribute much more to what they gain, not much more. They attribute to their own power.
Toda Rabba, Chief Rabbi El Natan El Hanan. You said it. You said it. Look what is. Do you know what is the blessing of the Gomel? Let me show to you. One second. Here's the Birkat HaGomel. Do you see my screen?
Not yet, Rabenu.
Now it's okay?
Yes, Rabbeinu.
Okay. Look what it say. What is the blessing of the Gomel? Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe. Agomel lachayavim tovot, who gives to sinners good thing. Shegemalani kol tov, who gave to me all these good things, every good. You see what you're saying? Basically, you're admitting that you have been captured, kidnapped, that you went through the sufferance, that you went through the sea and the desert because of your sins. This is the blessing. So that four events are showing to you that you are full of sins. So what is the blessing of the Gomel? Is to admit that you are limited as a man. And that your actions.
Sorry, I have a question.
Yeah.
Is it possible if someone have obtained Gerut because he went from let's say the first stage of his life and he entered in another stage? Can we say that you can say the Gomel at that point, or it's not?
Of course. Of course. It's because we have forget the real culture of that blessing. That's why the brainship when he's bring it to us. For sure, being captured, being suffering, and passing the sea and the desert, it's physical situation, but they have also spiritual meanings. How many people have been captured in their mind? They become crazy, depressions. They are missing self-confidence. When you feel good, where's your Gomel? How many people, they feel pain in their heart? They feel disconnected from this world. They feel sadness. So don't you happiness come in your life? Where's the Gomel? How many people have been going through desert? You can see the image, the allegory bring us to say that when I'm missing money, I'm passing through desert. Where's the Gomel? And when you are in the sea, in the Yam, when you are during that 50 days between Pesach, Shavuot, or that 50 days between Pesach Sheni to the 4th of Tammuz, where's your Gomel when you finished to pass that days? So this is the key to know to use that blessings at the proper moment will help us to awake remembrance in our people. And that remembrance will be supported by another strength, which is the koach to create the chen. So one of the biggest problem with the memories, with the museum, with all the forgetting your tradition, your cultural identity, is basically to put you far away of remembering that everything is connected to our sins. And that if we receive freedom, if we want the civil rights movement, if we receive independence, if we are no more slaves, where are the Gomel? No blessings. That's why they do all the best never to let you know what is your history, because when you read your history, you are obliged to say, no, it's not normal for us to survive after all these things. And naturally, you will try to say, thank you, my creator. Thank you, Ensof. And this is the way to say thank you when you pass through the biggest sufferings that the world and the earth have never carried. So let's finish. Let's say the word to the Ben Ishchai.
Chief Rabbi Pinchas.
Yes, Chief El Hanan.
We have learned the mindset of philosophers. When we look at education system, and they have introduced it to us the opposite of Gomer. That is what made the university, because the university is the replica of academia. So what I'm trying to say is they made us to look at it's all dependent to my almighty, to my everything. But this is the mindset that the philosophers infused in our mindset. Because the university, when you look at when you look at most, if not all, the university's orientation of teaching and the mindset, brainwashing, is based, no, if we, then we will improve societies, which is not which is the opposite of the Gomer.
Yes. Yes, Chief Fabian and Hanan, thank you for that, because I spoke with many Africans, because in Lingala, I'm doing a big work about destroying the cultural roots of Christianity in our society. And many people are saying that I'm bringing facts. I'm not here to be emotional or to be judgmental. But what they say to me in private is like this: we are afraid to be empty. I say, what does it mean? They say, we are afraid to be empty, meaning we are afraid not to have anything to believe in. Meaning, Bantus Israelites, we have been created with the DNA of being faithful to our Creator. We can never think in our nature that what we get, it's the merit of our works. Like you said, this is a root, which is something that has been created by the philosopher. The work of your hands will make you live. This is not our culture. This is not our mindset. And Baruch Hashem, we have texts like that to prove that we are right to think like that. We just need to give to our brothers structure to be able to put their belief in something real, truth that will create peace and connection to the others. So look, זה מפני כי החולה על רוב לא יקום ממיטתו מאליו, אלא על ידי רופא הסממנים וכל הרופא שמבין ביותר בכל הסממנים שהם חשובים ביותר, יהיה מהם תולעת יותר לחולה ויתרפא מחולאיו במהרה. ובזה האדם רואה בעיניו כי הטבע רפא אותו, וכן חבוש על רוב לא יצא ממעשו בלתי השתדלות שהשתדל בעידו, הן בממון, הן בפיוסים, בפצרת רעים ואהובים, והוא רואה שעזרתו באה בסיבת אנושי, וכן במדבר על רוב לא ילער יחידי, אלא עם אנשים רבים ושומרים חזקים, ורואה שבהם הייתה שמירתו, ועל ידם בא לשלום למחוז חפצו, וכן יורד בים, בורר לעצמו ספינה חשובה, וכפצען מבין ומדקדק הרבה, והיינו כי חושב שעל ידי כן יהיה ניצול מנזקי הים, ויגיע לשלום למחוז חפצו. וכן בארבע דברים אלו, שאדם עלול יותר להיות שוכח השגחתו יתברך, מפני התולעה טובתו בטבעה ומנהגו של עולם. לכר תקנו בהם ברכת הודאה, שיהיה מודה מפיו ומשבח להשם יתברך. להשם יתברך. להשם יתברך, שהשגחתו הוא נשמע וניצול בכל אלה, ובזה איש תרש אמונת השגחת בלב האדם מכל דבר ודבר מקל וחומר. It's like this. He said on the fourth, Shalom Shalom Rabbi Manhattan, Shalom Shalom. He said like this, in all the situation, what you are seeing basically, Shalom Shalom Chief Rabbi Kish, Shalom Shalom Chief Rabbi Mordechai, Shalom Shalom, Shalom Shalom Nicola. So we are almost finished. He said, now what happened? He said, based on all that situation, that four situation that the Gemara is quoting, you will see that there's a problem. Every time in the situation of being captured, kidnapped, or going through sufferance, or being in the desert, or being in the sea, the nature of the man is to prepare himself. And because you prepare yourself, when you will be, for example, captured, you will think, no, it's because I had some money, I have some contact, I had some connections. When you will be sick, suffering, you say, no, it's because I have some money and I got the best doctors. When you will be in the desert, you say, no, I will take with me the most powerful men who can work 3 days without drinking, and they will be keeping me, and it's going to be okay in the desert. And when you will be in the sea, you say, no, let me take the best boats ever that will never be under the waters. So I say, what's happened? Why that fourth situation were chosen by the Anshe Knesset Agdola? He said, because in that fourth situation, it's really easy to forget about God, to forget about Hashem. Why? Because you have around you all the reason to think that you were prepared to that positive issue. And that it's so natural. Yes, this president called that president, and they meet and they sign contract, and I was released from being captured. But where is your Birkat HaGomel? When we were delivered from slavery, where was the Birkat HaGomel? When we were saved from colonization, where were the Birkat HaGomel? When we were saved from all the diseases, all the things they did against the Bantu Israelites in the United States, bringing some crack in the streets to create tremendous mental disease, when they bring the HIV in Africa, when they bring all these things they create on our back, when we survived, where were our Birkot Agomel? That's why we suffer now from that forgetfulness. And we cannot rebuild our communities properly. Because we think that leaders, that man, that speech, that event, that strike made the change. And we forget about the one who chose us as Bantu Israelites to be his representative on this earth. That's why we have a problem about memory, forgetting. This is the point. So now, halacha lema'aseh, and we finished. The month of Elul is very particular regarding every single minhagim. The Sfaradim, from the 3rd of Elul, they start slichot every morning till Yom Kippur, except Shabbat ויום של ראש חודש וכו'. The Ashkenazim, 10 days before Rosh Hashanah, they start till Yom Kippur. Minhag Afriki, we only do in the 10 days between Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah, except the Shabbat and the good days. Why? Because that 10 days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, they are called the Ma'amakim, the 10 Ma'amakim, Omek, 10 depth. Everything is there. So my question is, how do you live your slichot? How do you live that moment of teshuvah? How do you remember all the bad things you have been doing last year? Do you remember everything? Do you really know what you did to people in your actions, sometimes when you are not acting, also people can be damaged in your speech, in your thought. Do you remember everything? No, it's impossible. So how can you remember? There's a secret with the Gomel. When you see Tishri arriving, so just by the way, bracket, why in Musar Afriki we do slichot only in the 10 days between Rosh Hashanah and Kippur? Because our tradition is based on that says, for us, Tishri is between 2 Nisan, that's it. Our year starts with Nisan. Our year doesn't start with Tishri, like the Torah said. From the moment you do your work properly from Pesach, meaning you have the Sfirat HaOmer with Kavanot, from Pesach to Shavuot, and you also had the counting of the back, from Pesach Sheni to what we call Shavuot Sheni. You start the readings of Pirkei Avot and Pirkei Shira. When you arrive in what we call Pesach, Shavuot Sheni, meaning 50 days after Pesach Sheni, which is the 4th of Tammuz, you have 13 days till the 17th of Tammuz to sweeten that date. What do? We finish all the Mishnayot. All the Mishnayot. From the first Seder to the last one. You arrive on the 7th of Tammuz, you chill. You are okay. If it was too heavy for you, you have till the 9th of Av to finish all the Seder Mishnayot. You read all the Mishnayot. When you build that type of shield on you, Elul is not a month of Teshuvah, because for 3 months you have been in Teshuvah. What is the Sfirat HaOmer? Teshuvah. So we had Sfirat HaOmer of the back, Teshuvah. What is to read the Pirkei Avot? Teshuvah. What is to read the Pirkei Shira? Teshuvah. What is to read all the Mishnayot? Teshuvah. To say we know that this was much more deeper, that we have only 6 order now. So when you arrive on the Tisha B'Av, you are good. Because since the beginning of your year, no mistakes have been made. That's why it's okay. So what do? We focus on the 10 days, which are the 10 depths, where everything can be sealed and where everything's happened. That's it. But when you do the slichot, you know that it's because of that 4 things, that 4 mistakes. Where is and when should be said your Birkat HaGomel? It's my question to you. Because the Birkat HaGomel is showing that you know that you achieve that level not by your own power. So yes, slichot, it's important to start to pray before the dawn. Yes, slichot, it's important to blow the shofar. Yes, slichot, it's important to be together. But where is the Birkat HaGomel? Because without Birkat HaGomel, you cannot remember. So my question is very simple. Last year, did you have any physical or spiritual situation of being captured? Any physical or spiritual situation of being suffering? Any physical or spiritual situation of feeling that you're in a desert? Or the same in the sea? Where are your Birkat HaGomel? This is the last point that many people miss with the Slichot time. This is the thing that the Bantu Israelites will forget about the Birkat HaGomel. Once you have the Birkat HaGomel made, the power of remembrance is there. And once it's there, another power is given to you. Koach will give to you with the two kolel. Chen, what is chen? The particularity of Moshe Rabbeinu, according to Rabbi Nechunya ben Akane. I'll let you with that question. We'll have answers, Bezrat Hashem, all this month of Elul. What I want to see with you is to do one day in Elul. It's based on the proposal of Chief Rabbi Mordechai. One day in Elul where all the rabbis will be teaching on the topic of Teshuvah, Elul, Slichot, Tishri. We have to create events according to the calendar also, and I agreed with him. So maybe it will be the full moon of Elul. Let me know. But we have to do a whole day of limudim about the concept of Teshuvah, the concept of Elul, concept of gathering. So for the one who asked me why we do Slichot only in the 10 days, it's because of all that. Since Pesach, I didn't stop at all. the work in terms of Teshuvah never stopped. So when you do things properly, it's okay. Yes, Chief Rabbi Yishai.
Oh, sorry. Also in Ben Israel, sorry, Alachot, the Akdama of Nitzavim, he explained about the Rosh Hashanah, and he explained about the Tekiah, the Trua, and Shvarim, etc. And he said that why we do Tekiah on the first and on the last, because Tekiah is a positive, it's the sound, and the shvachim and the tekia, sorry, the trua are the negative. Let's say the scream of pain and lamentation, lamentation. And it's also when we start our year by Pesach, it's a simcha, and we finish it with simcha. It's a good. I found it maybe to also go in the explanation presentation.
Yeah, of course, Toda Rabba, you did well. You did well because you now you obliged me to blow the shofar. I will do it in a few seconds. So
Baruch
yes,
Hashem, Baruch Hashem.
we have to do it to know about that. And this is it's a whole teaching. That's why I hope that your rabbis will be available on the full moon of Elul, or maybe the 25th, 26th, the day of creation of Adam Arishon. Let me know which day you want in the committee, and we'll do
Rabbi,
day of. Yes, if Rabbi Mordechai.
Shalom, shalom, Chief Rabbi. I'm voting for the 15th because that is my Hebrew birthday when I went into the
Hey, okay, let's go. So you have to bring tremendous chidushim. So let's go on that day, and we will prepare posters, and we have to show to the Jewish world that there is a chidushim in the frame of Teshuvah, and we brought one today explaining that doing slichot without putting that place for Birkat HaGomel, based on what Ben Yochai said, it's like a huge mistake because we need that. Who didn't spend the last 6 months something looking like to being captured, being suffering, going through desert or through waters or through seas? So Bezrat Hashem, we will do it. Bezrat Hashem. Yes, Chief Rabbi Ishai.
Oh no! It was about the date, because on full moon, as I said on the private message, I will be in the really back countryside. So I hope I will have connection. But we're gonna try. But if for me it will be good on 26th.
Okay, we have two options, so we're gonna go on that date with Hashem.
Yeah.
To give you a few seconds, I just grab my shofar and we blow. Bezrat Hashem. 1 second. So Bezrat Hashem, I will put the microphone a bit far, not to broke your ears. Bezrat Hashem, 1 second. Okay. בזכות מצוות, לשם מצוות תקיעת שופר. Is it to you? Baruch Hashem, may this sound help us to understand the secret of the Gomel, especially in the time of the Slichot and Elul, and see you in the week תודה רבה, Chief Rabbi Elnathan Elchanan, תודה רבה, Chief Rabbi.
Rabbeinu, I have something, please. It's in this mode now that I know that Zaka Afriki, we should say Slichot from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur. Already the community here would normally have this period, we'll say it, the whole 30 days plus the 10 days. Now already commenced, we said this morning. So I'm feeling if I go to disband it now, it might bring a negative feeling to the community. By permission, can we continue and tell them afterwards, this is how we have to do it from next year?
No, you have to continue. Never stop an action that you have started. The mitzvah will be lost, Chazvi Shalom. You have to continue, and things have to be settled slowly. And you have to know that next year, to explain that minhag, you will start to teach the laws of Slichot from Pesach or from, let's say, Tammuz and Av. You have to teach people. We have no problem because all these things have been written in our books, have been taught in our limudim. We are just making it clear and official. So continue the Slichot of what you are doing. What you should do is, when it will be between the 10 days, just remember the people that this is the 10 days we call the 10 depth, according to the baseball that we say of David, Minamakim Karaticha, I call you from the depth. So we know that the 10 days we are very particular because we are not normal days. We are out of the calendar. That's why this is the place where we act, we do the Slichot. The Sfaradim, they connect to the fact of the golden calf. They said, we know that we made this golden calf on the 9th of Av, and Moshe took in total 80 days to fix everything and will arrive to Kippur. So the Sfaradim, they have that deep connection with the golden calf sins. The souls of the Bantu Israelites, let's say 90%, we know that we are not connected to that sin. Why? Because most of us were from the 4/5, stood in Egypt, and after other stories, this was shown and explained by Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai in Zohar, Kadosh, and so on, and we are from what we call the Am Bnei Israel. So most of the Bantu Israelites were not there about the golden calf. This is something to be said and to be known. After that, you have the Ashkenazim. They start 10 days from Rosh Hashanah because they say that you have to be ready for Rosh Hashanah. Also, in the Bantu Israelite history, it's different because for us, we put the beginning of our years in Nisan, like said the Torah. So we are not focusing our work of Teshuvah before Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is surrounded by 2 Nisans. So we sit in that place from two sides. The Ashkenazim, they don't have the work we have in terms of Sfirat HaOmer, back and front, Pesach Sheni, Shavuot, and the Shavuot Sheni. That's why we are not stressed by the Rosh Hashanah. My masters and Rekadosh said, when you are tzaddik, Rosh Hashanah is in the middle of your year, it's okay. When it's in the beginning, you better be ready. On this reason, we don't have the same dialogue, interaction with the Slichot. But on the 10 days of Tishri, because that month means a lot in terms of Sod, and crazy things can happen, that 10 days we are very specific, particular. We, at the moment, we join our brothers. And we join forces to say we will be saying the Slichot at that time because we, the Bantu Israelites, we are more connecting to that 10 death. Why? Because they are connected to the Chosher, to the darkness. This is the place we work. All these you explain, and next year, we're going to settle slowly.
Rabbi,
Toda Rabbi.
sorry about that, Kish.
Yeah, Chief Rabbi Moshe.
Yeah, I was saying, I just hear what you're saying about that, right? Because other people could hear it and understand it, but it's really asking us to think more in depthly when the Torah refers to something as a new year. Like maybe we put the secular concept inside of our head and we incorporate it into that, right? But the way you're saying it is that you're saying that there's different openings, and in the opening that the Kabbalists start on is in Nisan, and they're building all the way to this concept of Yom Adin, and then from there they will be able to shift that experience, right? Like we will. So it's very profound.
תודה רבה, Chief Rabbi Mordechai. Yes, this is the point. That's why the Gemara says there is 4 Rosh Hashanah in the year. If it's 4, it means that we have 4 categories among our 12 tribes, and that 4 categories are alluded in the 4 Yud Kei Vav Kei. And the Rosh Hashanah of Nisan is the Rosh Hashanah of the kings. And Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, in Masechet Shabbat, when they asked to him, is it permitted to put some cream, some oil on your skin on Shabbat? Most of the sages will say no, because you will be doing one melacha. Rabbi Shimon said, no, what are you saying? The kings of the world are used to put the oil of rose on their skin. This is their habit every day since they were young. And we, Bantu Israelites, African Americans, we grew up with the same mindset. You should never let your skin not be hydrated. But Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said like this. He said, look, because all Kol Bnei Israel Bnei Melachim Em, all the sons of Israel, they are sons of kings, so they are prince. So if you are son of king, what's happened to you? Your Rosh Hashanah is on Nisan. That's why we go that way. So like you said, we have different happening. And we just have to know which one we want to give to our brothers and sisters based on our culture and our way to understanding who we are. And you can see it in African culture, in African American culture. We have that proudness of prince. We know that even if they mocked us, they mocked our skin and physical, we know we are prince. We know. We have that nobility. We know it. So that culture should be brought also in our daily Torah. Bezrat Hashem. Baruch Adonai Olam, Amen ve'Amen. תודה רבה לכולם, תודה רבה צ'יף חביי אלנתן חנן, צ'יף חביי קיש, רבי מרדכי, צ'יף חביי ישי משה, רבי ישראל פונדול, תודה רבה רבי יוחנן, תודה רבה רבי ברונדון בן יוסף, רבי מנתן, רבי עוזיאל ישראל, רבי לאל, and Bezrat Hashem, see you next week for the English limud. שבוע טוב ומבורך.
תודה רבה רבנו. תודה.
שבוע טוב.
שבוע טוב. תודה רבה.
This is history. The chief rabbinate of Africa presents the Siddur Sambatayim, the Siddur, neither Sephardic nor Ashkenazi but Afriki. Reconnect with the pure ancestral traditions of your Bantu Israelite ancestors, with a new sack of tefillah that perfectly combines the halakhot of the Mishnah and the minhagim of the Mekabalim, with a new sack of Afriki. Live the Black Man Torah, with the first Siddur published and printed in Africa. To grab your Siddur, only one address, Beth Nesset, Bantu Israel Synagogue, Lagos, 27 Canal View Drive, Ago Koda off Ago Palace Way, Lagos, Nigeria. Mobile number, +2348035382223, only 35,000 naira, delivery included.